Hello there. This is Kenny from learnhowtoprosper.com, and I wanted to address a question that I got from one of my followers, and the question was, how do you work with someone that you don't like? Now, I think many of us have had this experience where you are in a situation where you have to work with someone that you don't particularly care for. And I had this experience myself. In fact, this individual was quite antagonistic, and because of the politics of the situation, it really made it even worse. And I remember one night I came home and I was kind of complaining about it and making a ruckus, and my 17-year-old daughter at the time basically said, "Why are you being such a pansy about this? Why are you giving him so much power in your life?" And I hadn't really thought about it that way, but I had turned over a fair amount of my own power and ability to even enjoy my work to this individual. And she said, "Isn't that a little bit ridiculous?" Well, I really appreciated that advice, and having been a counselor and dealt with interpersonal relationships for a long time, I was a little bit chagrined that I had needed my 17-year-old daughter to remind me of this key principle. But nonetheless, it's true. One of the joys of being a human versus an animal that works on instinct is that we have the capacity to think. We have the capacity to choose. And so I went back that day, and the first thing I decided is that I liked this person. I just decided, I like him. I don't care what he says. I don't care what he does. I don't care about the faces that he pulls. I don't care about the stunts. I'm just going to like him. And just the very act of making that decision changed everything. First of all, he wasn't draining my power because I didn't allow that to happen. In fact, here's something kind of creepy that happened, and that is that I actually did start to appreciate this person more. Now, we never became close friends, and we didn't talk about our fishing expeditions on the weekend and that sort of thing, but at the very least, I enjoyed our interactions. And just the act of choosing to like this person, it changed something in my psychology. I'm sure that the way I interacted with him was different, which sent a different signal, and then returned back a different response. And so I've tried this out multiple times now with different people. Now, my daughter went on to give me another piece of interesting advice. She said, "Dad, if there's someone that you don't like, pray for them." Now, that's a little bit difficult to do, and maybe for you, if you don't believe in prayer, that's okay. Then I guess what you might consider then is just thinking good vibes about them. Thinking positive. For me, I did pray, and that had an enormous effect on me because I realized that in a very real sense, this person is just someone like me with challenges, difficulties. Now, I don't know all of the challenges that they had, but I do know that they're human and, like me, makes mistakes. And that also changed my perspective. I think the thing that has helped me the most by approaching all situations in this way is that it gives me back my power. I'm empowered. I'm not being a victim. I hate the victim mindset, that idea that I'm powerless to influence my environment. And the fact is, we are never powerless. We can always, in every situation, control what we allow into our minds, right? Viktor Frankl, in Man's Search for Meaning, talked about even in the worst of times when he was in this concentration camp, he still had the ability to control the thoughts that he had in his mind. All of these terrible things could be happening around him and did happen. And yet he didn't allow that to influence the inner workings of his mind. He would he would show compassion for those around him. He found meaning in the suffering by helping those who were in need. And so he turned from an inward victim focus to an external empowered focus. Even though he was in a compound with 16-foot high fences, that did not impact the inner workings of his mind, the decisions that he could make. So, how do you deal with someone that you don't like? How do you work with someone that you don't like? Simple. Decide something different. Empower yourself. Take the situation by the horns and make it something different. We truly are an evolved and intelligent being. So we don't have to leave ourselves susceptible to external forces. So with that, I give you the challenge, as well as myself now, to seize the day and to not allow external forces to influence our internal workings. And with that, I'll sign off. Listen, if this video was helpful in any way, go ahead and click on the thumbs up button below. And you can click on the links to join me on my blog over at learnhowtoprosper.com. And with that, I'll sign off. Have a great day.